All right, welcome back to the Biker Protocol channel. I'm Hollywood with Black Patch here in Las Vegas.
And I'm Picasso with the Eagle Riders here, also in Las Vegas. So yeah, welcome to our channel.
So today's topic is neutrality.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you can be neutral in this world of motorcycle clubs?
Good question, right?
I'll say Black Patch is a neutral club, and it's a battle on its own. I'm gonna let you touch on it first, though.
Yeah. So, there's different ways of looking at how affiliation. So, when you join a club, there's an affiliation that you have as a member of that club, right? So, but there's also clubs become affiliations of larger, like fraternal organizations that they belong to. So there are reasons why clubs do this. Some clubs belong to certain organizations, and there are many. There's several. There are regional. There are also national ones. The first one, of course, was the AMA, right? So I think a lot of people are familiar with that. The AMA has kind of turned into less governing or organizing things for like MCs and RCs. They're more now into like motorsport kind of,
the general public.
Yeah, so they kind of, I wouldn't even say they venture even into RCs, although there's a lot of RCs that are members of the AMA. Yeah. When our club started, we were an AMA club, and then we moved off of that. And then, of course, there's organizations like the COC. A lot of people have heard of them. It's the Confederation of Clubs. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are familiar with them. A lot of major clubs belong to that. They're, very large organization. And then there are sometimes regional organizations that are similar or maybe a little bit different than like the COC, but maybe operate in similar ways and have similar motives. We are affiliated with one of those organizations called the MCA. You are affiliated, if I understand correctly, you're affiliated with both. So you kind of maintain a neutrality with that.
Yeah, and it comes to a point where there's a balance to it, basically. And it's not easy, but you have to kind of stick to both sides so that you keep that neutrality. Otherwise, one side starts to think you're, more friendly with that side, or the other side, so to speak. And when I say sides, it could be just the clubs that are not getting along. So you got the one side that doesn't get along with the other side, and then they're kind of the ones, the dominants of the
usually that's the case. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Las Vegas is like a melting pot. It's kind of unique.
Yeah.
In terms of and that's kind of, I feel like why there's two organizations here.
And my understanding, a lot of it is as you start moving easterly towards the East Coast, you don't see much of this at all.
I've been told a lot that neutrality does not go on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you guys have any comments on that, definitely.
Oh yeah, please leave in the comments. We'd like to hear if you're in a club that tries to, or maybe doesn't try to maintain some kind of neutrality, and you're more East Coast than West Coast.
And so it's aside from the motorcycle ministries, I mean, are there any clubs you could think of, or not with naming clubs, but it seems like motorcycle ministries are always neutral, and they have we did an interview with Fluffy from Bikers for Christ. Mm-hmm. And he said it well. It was like, well, we're going to preach the word to not just one person or one group. We're going to preach it to everyone. So that makes sense. And so they'll definitely be a neutral club. Baca is another one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're neutral because, kids need assistance on both sides of the table.
If you're not familiar with Baca, they're a national club, Bikers Against Child Abuse. Mm-hmm. Great organization. And they maintain a neutrality. And also understand too is that when you're dealing with the quote unquote neutrality of clubs, it could also mean not affiliated with anything.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be as part of an organization of anybody else. And we've known, without naming names, we've known clubs that have been members of one organization or the other or both, mm-hmm. and then and they might in one city and not in another city. So depending on how their chapters are set up, and then we personally have known clubs where National has come down and said, yeah, we're cutting all ties with any kind of organization, no matter where you're at. So as a collective whole, we're maintaining neutrality. So there's that too. I guess the advantage to maintain, there's advantages and disadvantages, right?
Yeah.
So you, as a neutral club, there's a couple questions I have for you on that. But if you are affiliated with some organization, whatever that is, there's advantages to it, right? Whenever you're hosting events, it's good to kind of rally the troops. And you get a lot of support. So if you're having like a pig roast or a poker run or something like that, it's a good way to get the word out quickly to a lot of clubs that you're in that fraternal organization with, and get turnout, right?
Yeah.
So everybody helps everybody out. But there's a downside to that too, right? I mean, what would be the downside to that?
So like the positive aspect is you hopefully you get along with everyone for the most part, or at least are tolerated. The downside is there's multiple turkey runs, multiple
Right,
toy drives, multiple events that none of us are going to make them all, even if you're not neutral and you're on a certain side. But you have to make an effort to keep that balance, and it can get expensive for one thing,
sure.
and costly in time, because every weekend, especially in the holidays, it comes up to this point where every weekend's a toy drive or a turkey drive, and we all love giving back, but sometimes it's exhausting when you have no free time to like do say your own turkey drives, toy drives, and parties in the summer and stuff, rides, just regular rides. So it's the as I say the kissing baby shaking hands at a double level, like a higher level, because it's just you got to be out there. You're more politics.
Yeah, of course.
Basically, it comes down to we kind of talked about that at lunch. Is politics is a big part of this world, and being neutral probably makes it harder and more of a problem in terms of politics. Politics.
Well, but there's like I said, there's pros and cons to everything, right? So one of the other nice things about if you're in an organization like that is when you put something on the calendar, it helps it to where other people don't put stuff on the same calendar.
Yeah.
Now the problem with that is let's say you do that and then you're not a neutral club, right? So now you have a whole other bunch of clubs that may not care because they're doing their own thing, right? But if you maintain a level of neutrality in a non-political way, it could be helpful in that respect too, right?
Yeah.
So you can get more or less people. Of course, with that, I mean, let me ask you this: is if you're as a neutral club, do you find it difficult where, like, let's say, like for example, you guys do a big event every year. You do the first ride of the year, right?
Yeah.
And you do it on usually New Year's Day.
I think on the 18th. I think this year is coming up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're not doing it. Okay. So, but
no. I mean, we were doing it. It's the 18th year of doing it.
Forgive me. I misunderstood. I'm sorry. But yes, we usually do it on New Year's. Then, right? Yeah.
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day. So, so do you find that being neutral, that you ever have issues where you might have some clubs that might have issue with other clubs, or maybe they don't show up because they know other clubs are going to be there? Do you have
that
run
right
into that?
there? Yeah. So basically, when we do events, we can't expect every club to show up from any side. What will happen is you'll get the certain club will show up, say hi, what's up, and then peace out, and then another club. You kind of like you don't schedule them, but they do it on their own kind of thing, or it's more of just a hi and bye instead of a hangout, do the whole ride or whatever to show their support. So yeah, that's kind of like a part negative, I guess, would be you're not going to get the full gamut of an organization because they know that they may run into someone they don't want to be a part of. So they may not show up. And so like with the first ride of the year, we get a pretty good turnout, but it's generally, a lot of independents, and a lot of like, the ministries, clubs that we're pretty close with, even if they're on one side or the other. But the other ones that, the bigger clubs, you'll see them here and there, but or they show up not in a cut, just to support, and we know them or whatnot. So
interesting. Okay.
So it's interesting in the aspect of, I think it opens a lot of doors. Like, not a lot of people can say that they're allowed to come and go. I don't want to say freely. There's still rules involved in it, but we can still be in one clubhouse and go to the next who, they don't get along, and both know we're okay. And it's keeping up those appearances to keep them knowing we're okay too.
Sure.
Any new members, prospects, we've got to now bring them around everyone. So it's a little bit longer period in that
Makes
term,
sense. Sure.
to get them to know. So then when we're bringing them around, it's, they know, okay, they're with them. Cool.
There's definitely a lot of advantages to remaining as neutral as you can. And like I said, and I think you touched on it, there's also some disadvantages too, because like you said, it's taken them around to a lot more places, right? Especially when you have hangarounds or prospects, or, it's just now you've doubled up on the amount of people you got to go talk to. So.
You've doubled up on the work, but I think you've also doubled up on, like, if you're really into the history and the culture and really diving deep into the club aspect of life, of this life, our community, it really opens up those doors to really be involved in it too.
Sure.
Like, I mean, I've been to in countrywide too, just traveling around. I've been into several different areas where it's like some people may not be able to, and I was fortunate enough to be able to hang around these people, ride with them, whatever it is, party with them, and that's kind of a cool plus. I like that, traveling.
Mhm.
I try to do a lot of just long distance traveling and be able to have that option. Or if you're confronted, now you're confronted by one or the other, you go, well, call this certain person,
Mhm.
and they can vouch for you or at least give you some words of wisdom, I guess, instead of just, oh, you ran into the wrong people. Good luck,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it
So,
too.
yeah, so that's neutrality. I think it's not for everyone, and I mean, we even have battles, honestly, on a daily basis in our meetings and stuff in church. That, like, how much do we want it? Like, is it super important? And we just continue on.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's that. That's neutral.
Very good.
And to kind of add a little more background to it. So black patch, our colors are black and gray, which is neutral colors. And gray is for the neutral. That's what our gray stands for. So
Live in
kinda where that comes from.
roll in the gray area. I
Yeah,
love it.
the gray area. Yep.
That's awesome.
So yeah, yeah. I don't know. Any other thoughts?
No. I'm glad. Thanks for sharing what you shared.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
If you guys think or have been in a neutral club or have any thoughts on it, definitely leave some comments. We like hearing.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Yeah, if you like I said, if you roll in one, or maybe
Yeah.
you are a club that are looking to possibly be more of a neutral type club in your community, yeah, we'd love to hear from you. And
Yeah.
we can certainly hear comments. We always like to address our comments. So if you leave them, then maybe we'll do another video on it. So,
Yeah.
this is a good topic, and we
It
got
is
asked about it a lot.
and we hear it in the different organizations that we go to too. We
Oh,
hear
yeah.
about it. Like a lot of times, they're like, sometimes you have to sign paperwork that says you're acknowledging you're doing it.
Mhm.
So then, if something goes wrong, they know exactly who to go to. 'Cause
Yeah.
they know this is the only club, or these are the only people that are mingling between the two. So
For sure.
it's a lot more responsibility too.
Yeah,
in making sure
I
you
could
get,
totally see it that way. Yeah.
dot your I's, cross your T's.
Well, awesome. Well, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Click of that if you haven't done so already. If you subscribe, then you get all of our notifications, and we release videos every week. So,
Mhm.
and we dive into topics like this. So please like and subscribe our video. We just hit 1,500 subscribers, by
Yeah.
the way. So
Thank
that's
you.
kind of exciting. So thank you for watching. We wrap up all of our videos with a shot. So,
He's got a
we're
surprise,
starting a new
apparently.
tradition. So first of all, he made me get rid of my Harley glass, my shot glass. What does it say? I'm going to show this up to the camera. My new shot glass says "Party with Sluts." So can't go wrong with that. So we're gonna
Jack Daniels. I mean, you can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong with that. So we get accused all the time
is
because somebody asked us once, because you guys just shoot water, don't you? So not today. So in celebration of the election, I guess we're shooting.
Oh, jeez.
What the hell is this? Big Sips America, gas station alcohol. So
This is what America is.
It actually-
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's blue. That's all I know. So we're gonna have some of this. Oh God, that looks awful.
Jeez.
Hold on. Yeah, this looks as terrible. You got it. Yeah, I will make a big mess. That's awesome. So we're shooting this.
Whiteboard extra amount.
Yeah, I'm doing like a half a shot because I'm dangerous to put this in my body. Okay,
Ugh,
cheers.
I've never had this.
Come on,
before.
I don't know what it is. Oh my God, is that awful? Thank you for watching. Let's drink this stuff.
16% alcohol.
Oh man, yeah, good
Oh
stuff.
my God.
Oh, it tastes like lighter fluid. Thanks for watching our video. We'll see you on the next one.
Jeez.
Oh.
See you later.
Oh my God.